to today's video. I want to chime in with a quick impromptu video. And today's video is going to be a Sunday sermon, but this one is just going to be, like any other Sunday sermon. It's just going to be a quick impromptu video. And if you don't know the definition of impromptu, the definition of impromptu basically means right here on the spot. You see what I'm saying? Right here on the spot. I'm doing this video right here on the spot, right off the top of the dome. Pause. You see what I'm saying? So it's no hurrying up to go look up something and all this extra shit. None of that. It's all the information I already have up here. You see what I'm saying? It's already the information that I have up here. You see what I'm saying? And the information that's in my DNA, which is still technically up here, right? Now check this shit out. Um, there's been a lot of different things going on in the world. A lot of people talking about the doomsday clock. I actually did a video on the doomsday clock a couple of days ago, and it's more than just that that's really happening. For real, you got a lot of different shit that's actually taking place right now in the world, and a lot of people are scared of like the food shortages or potentially, World War III, which World War III already technically happened or is happening, which is mental, spiritual, and physical. You know what I'm saying? But I mean World War III as an actual conflict with Iran or any other hostile nation. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm not really worried about it is because it was technically already written. You know what I'm saying? Rumors of war, famine, pestilence, different things of that nature. Even though I'm not necessarily a Christian anymore, I still do follow, some of the teachings of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Because to be a Luciferian is all about knowledge and wisdom. You see what I'm saying? And if you're a follower of Christ, Christ had the knowledge and the wisdom. You see what I'm saying? He never preached out of an actual Bible. The Bible was created and was tampered with by people called the Bible Destruction Group. You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of other stuff that goes in with that. But the real Bible that's on the planet is the Ethiopian Bible. It has a lot of information in it. That's the actual real word. And I heard to even try to even get an Ethiopian Bible is really expensive and it's hard to get. You know what I'm saying? Because you got so much shit that's been tampered with. It's hard to find the original. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the original stuff is not out there and all that shit. I'm not saying that because it is. You just will have to pay probably twice as more and look twice as hard. You see what I'm saying? To even find any type of results. But I'm saying all this to say is just be aware. You need to be getting yourself prepared every day, and that's spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. But remember, mental and emotional is the same thing because your emotions, it all comes from your mind and how you feel, your mood and all that shit is all mental. So mental and emotional is technically the same thing. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's been a lot of stuff going on. You see what I'm saying? And you got a lot of people that's hostile when it comes to certain type of information. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to get this information out here now. Rest in peace to Amy Eskridge. That's one of the 12 or 13 scientists that was murdered. She was murdered in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the crazy part because that's around the time when I was being set up to be taken out and shit like that. But I survived that attempt. I survived the attempt that just happened a couple weeks ago. It's been multiple attempts of my life, you see what I'm saying? And I couldn't figure it out why. But now I know. It's because the information that I know and the information that I am going to know. You see what I'm saying? Like Minority Report, that shit is real. Minority Report, that shit is real. And this is what they're trying to implement now with the one world government. But don't get it twisted. The one world government not necessarily bad because you do have a lot of different players that's on each side. Like for example, you got the Illuminati, so to speak, that's battling against each other. You see what I'm saying? So you got certain amounts of groups of families saying we want to stay in America, we want to keep exploiting the American people and shit like that. Then you got the other side of the Illuminati family saying, "No, fuck that shit. We don't want to do that. We want to actually destroy America and different things of that nature." You see what I'm saying? And that's basically what's happening in a nutshell. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people cannot see it because their vibration is low. They on an elf wave, and that basically means extremely low frequencies. So when you're on the elf wave, you will not be able to see and or comprehend the things that's actually going on. You see what I'm saying? So when I speak and shit like that, um, some people who are on a higher frequency, on a higher level, they automatically gravitate to the things that I'm saying is because that frequency they connected, they can feel it. They like that's powerful. You see what I'm saying? But also at the same time, you got to remember that there's a lot of people who don't want to be on that frequency. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who want to stay asleep. They don't want to know what's going on in the world. And you know, that's cool. You got free will, that's your choice. But you gotta remember you also have good and bad. So that choice, what they make it is kinda good, it's kinda bad. You see what I'm saying? We can't necessarily judge them, even though you're gonna find humans that's gonna do that anyway. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to live your life to the fullest. You see what I'm saying? Like I've been saying, if you've been following me for a while, I've been doing this type of work really since like 2012, 2011ish. I didn't start uploading videos until 2014 because I was still basically being a student, learning and shit like that, and stuff like that. But it's 2026. I started this in 2014, so I've been doing this shit for damn near like 12 years now. You see what I'm saying? I've been doing this shit for damn near like 12 years now, and I had some ups, I had some downs. I learned a lot, and like I said, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I got famous and popular off me speaking about my life, talking about things that I went through, and not only talking about things that I went through, but talking about things I seen, I experienced. You see what I'm saying? Talking about the spiritual stuff I experienced, you know, different things of that nature. You know, I put music out and all that shit. Y'all already know this, right? Some of y'all that may be new to this, you may not know this. That's why I'm kind of breaking it down. But I told y'all, all my life I have been lied to by my family, by my parents and shit like that. And my older sister used to say the same shit. Here we go, man. Oh my God. Here we go. Another interruption, man. Hey, I'm doing all right. So anyway, like I was saying, my family lied to me all my life. You see what I'm saying? I just now found out recently that I have a disability, and they lied about it this whole time. You see what I'm saying? And now I'm trying to figure out how to do all this shit, and that's a good thing, and it's a bad thing because you gotta look at it like this, right? I'm not sure exactly what it is. I've been looking at some different things, but like for example, and I'm not saying this is set in stone or anything like that, but it's like I'm not sure exactly what the diagnosis is, but it's obviously a disability. Um, like I think it was an intellectual disability because when I was younger, I wasn't as smart as I am now. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I was smart, like smarter than the average, but I was not as smart, like in school and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? I used to have to go to summer school and all that shit. So one day my brain just expanded when I got when I got into my late teen years. So when I was 17, 18, my brain really expanded a lot. That's I was a senior in high school, and then from that point forward, my intellectual abilities increased. So I'm not sure if that's like some type of Down syndrome or something like that. And when most people look at Down syndrome, they look at the people that's really affected by Down syndrome, that's really affected by that. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm really affected like that, where I look funny and all that, but I might have a little bit of it. You see what I'm saying? Because my mom, she did tell a little bit about it, but she didn't tell the whole story. So that's still technically a lie. She was saying that when I was born, the doctor said they couldn't use no more epidural, like it's like a pain reliever. Oh yeah, and sorry about that. There was some people walking past. Like I hate that shit. Like just want to get in your video. That's why I hate doing videos in public, but I really have nowhere else to do the video at. You see what I'm saying? Because outside is the house. You see what I'm saying? At least for right now. And the reason why it's like that is because this is kind of going off topic. But when the motherfuckers trying to kill me and shit, I kind of just fell into like a dark slump, and I found the whole survey hustle when I was in the gutter, when I was like down bad. That's when I found this side hustle. So I kind of just stayed in that energy. Yeah, I was making money and shit, but I kind of stayed in that low energy. You see what I'm saying? So I'm kind of coming out of that now because things been changing. You see what I'm saying? That's not an excuse, but I'm just telling you that's just what it is. It's not an excuse, but that's just what it is. You see what I'm saying? It's not an excuse, but that's just what it is. But anyway, like I was saying, my mom said that the doctor said something like, and I think it was fabricated, you know, because when you a kid, you can tell your kids anything. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, my mom was saying they couldn't use like too much epidural on them, like which is like a pain, like the pain anesthesia or whatever, because they said if they would have kept using it, I would have been like completely like retarded, completely slow, like or completely disabled. So I think they said I was disabled a little bit. She never said exactly what it was. And my family is the type of family they go off their status. Oh yeah, we can't have nobody in my family that's disabled. Hell no. So we just gonna have this. Say all my kids is normal, but every person, regardless you black, white, or anything in between, any human being might have some type of disability, whether it's a little bit of autism, a little bit of ADHD, ADD, whatever it is. Everybody is diagnosed with something, whether you know it or not. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just saying I'm learning that I'm just now learning this information now. And like I said, I'm not sure it's set in stone. I'm gonna have to actually go to a doctor and go get myself rechecked out or checked out as an adult because like when you were a kid or whatever, you kind of just go off of what your parents saying. At least that's what I was doing. And like I said, if you've been following my channel for you know however long you've been following it, you've been actually watching my videos. You see, I talked about this before. I don't really talk about it like this because it's kind of depressing. But but yeah, man, I actually like you see, it's more fucking distractions and shit. But I actually went through this type of stuff, and I'm actually going through this now. So right now, I'm left to pick up the pieces to figure out all this shit. Why I behave this way, why do I act like this, why do I think like this, and all this type of shit. I'm not the only person that's going through this, but it's obviously some type of disability, and basically, my family they the actual criminals because if I really do have an actual disability and you lied about it and hid it from me all my life, you know how much money I didn't lost or didn't receive because of your negligence or whatever. And I get it. You don't want to be seen as somebody that's a disability that's like a weakness. People gonna talk about it. People gonna talk about you regardless, whether you're successful or whether you're not. So you better off being on the successful side. You know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers gonna say what they gonna say regardless. You see how I was just doing this video and they want to just interrupt my video and shit, like just talking shit, and it's like okay, cool. But at the end of the day, it still ain't gonna stop me from talking. You see what I'm saying? And it ain't gonna stop them from talking. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just basically getting more mature. And they say that too, that you know, boys in general, they mature later in life and all that type of shit. But it also depends on your family structure too, though. So that's kind of like iffy. But I just wanted to throw that in there, you know, just to kind of let y'all know. But at the end of the day, I'm still me. Like regardless if I got a disability or not, you know what I'm saying. I'm still intelligent. I'm still smart. Um, my arms work, my legs work, my brain work. You see what I'm saying? I'm not dead. I'm not in jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm not completely impaired where I don't know what the fuck going on. You know, so I want to thank the Most High for that. I want to thank the universe for that. See, we take that for granted. Just the smallest things. We take the smallest things for granted. You see what I'm saying? And you only start to appreciate them when your life is almost taken away from you. When you're on your deathbed, oh, if I get off my deathbed, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna change this, I'm gonna do that. It shouldn't have to take for you to be almost dead for you to want to change your ways. You know, certain things happen. I get that, but I'm just saying, I'm just waking up just off trial and error. Like I said, I'm a scientist, so a plant scientist, but a scientist is still a scientist. So I learned a lot off trial and error. So I do this and do this to get the result. Okay, that one of these, it was kind of close to the result I wanted, but not exactly. So if I change this and change this and mix this and put this together, I should have a better result. You know what I'm saying? So in a sense, science is kind of like magic too. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, sorry that I'm releasing this video late. I'm recording this video late, but I had to play catch up today. You see what I'm saying? On the surveys, because on Sundays that's like one of my slowest days. You know, it depends. Sometimes it could be I could make a good $20 on Sunday, but today I only made like $5, maybe $6 because it's Sunday. You know, but that's still better than nothing though. You see, but tomorrow like clockwork, like clockwork, like clockwork. But I'm trying to get out of that slump that I've been in of just just how I've been spending my money and shit. Not necessarily saying it's bad because I earned it. If you earn it, you can spend your money however you want to. But that's still not the excuse. That's a poor excuse to just waste your money and shit like that. You know, so I've been waking up to that too. But I've been doing just a lot of research. Like I said, it's trial and error, man. And the thing is, I've been learning a lot too. I learned this a long time ago, but I'm relearning it again. It don't matter if people don't accept you for who you is. That's their problem. You see what I'm saying? If a person don't like who you are or don't like what you're going through or whatever, and they don't want to deal with it, that's fine. Tell them bye. They can leave. They can go somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? Who cares? It's gonna be people that's gonna appreciate you for who you are. See, that's another thing. In the world, we always want to try to change somebody. Now, that's another. Don't get me wrong. It is certain things about ourselves that we can change, or we might be able to see something in somebody else that if they just make this slight change, they have good positive growth. That's like criticism. That's constructive criticism. You see what I'm saying? It's constructive criticism, but you kind of need that though. You see what I'm saying? But I'm talking about just trying to change everything about somebody. You don't like this. You don't like that. Oh man, you been through this. I don't know if I can deal with that. But what about the shit you been through? What about the shit you doing behind closed doors when you thinking nobody looking? You see what I'm saying? So that's a double-edged sword though. You see what I'm saying? So it's just funny to me, but yeah, man, all the shit that's going on in the world right now is just insane. We living in a dark time, but we living in a great time too because there's so much shit being exposed, and this is the information age. All the information, all the shit that's been hidden for so long is coming out. That's why they call it apocalypse, which is a pile of knowledge that comes out at the end of an era. Which this is the end of an era, paradigm shift, end of an age. So basically, what that means is it's the end of the glamour age. That's why P Diddy, one of the biggest gatekeepers in Hollywood, that's why he got locked up. That's why the Tupac murder got solved. They didn't really solve Biggie murder, but Tupac and Biggie was kind of connected, so they know it was P Diddy and shit like that. But they knew it was some gang shit and it was mutual combat on both sides. So that's another thing you got to look at too. But yeah, Tupac family just filed a wrongful death lawsuit because Tupac wasn't supposed to die like that. You know, especially like not no celebrity like that, not in his prime like that. He wasn't supposed to get killed like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's a lot of crazy shit going on. But yeah, that's why all this information is coming out because we at the end of an age. We at the end of the glamour age. Balling, pimping, thugging, all that shit is over with. Now we entering the age of Aquarius, the information age, the golden age, where knowledge is going to be more respected. Um, you know, spiritual information and stuff like that. All that shit is gonna be more respected and shit. That's why a lot of people starting to recognize me, whether it's good or bad, because I'm really a spiritual celebrity, a spiritual guru. You know what I'm saying? That's how I really originally got famous by dropping spirituality and just talking about my life and shit like that too. But just making videos like this, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's just a quick impromptu video, man. Wake the damn up. Both videos coming soon. I just wanted to chime in. This is for a Sunday sermon. And then also I want to let y'all know if you made it this far into the video to the end, congratulations. Also want to let you know I'm going to bring back my web series that I had a couple of years ago. I actually started this when I was in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? I did 2 seasons of it, very successful. I'm gonna actually bring season 3 back and revise it. You know, we just gonna bring it back in California, but it's called Food XXX, aka food porn. You see what I'm saying? Basically, me eating like my favorite foods and like showing y'all and trying out new candy, new snacks, new food, like just shit like that. New beef jerky that they releasing, like all different type of shit like that. But it's gonna be customized to what I like. You know what I'm saying? I might let y'all suggest what you want me to try, but nah, man. Like the other day, somebody tried to order me a pizza. Yeah, I'm from Chicago. Cool, pizza is cool. But if you don't get the order right, don't order me nothing. I keep trying to tell you because your money is going to be thrown in the trash. I don't eat cheese, so why would you order me a piece of a cheese on it? You obviously not paying attention. You obviously don't know me as well as you think you do. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to help, which is cool, but you're pushing it because you don't even do your research. Like, come on, man. Order me something like that I'm gonna eat. Fried chicken, some type of chicken. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just not saying I'm not grateful, but why would you want to waste your money? Like, and I don't like wasting money at all. Whether it's my money or somebody else's money, I don't like wasting money at all. So that's just stupid. But yeah, it's gonna be customized to what I like and what I eat, not what you want to see me eat and all that. Like I said, I might throw in some suggestions and shit here and there, but people like to suggest some weird ass shit, and there's always something that got cheese in it and shit like that. So I really ain't got time for all that. But like I said, it's gonna be customized to what I like. So I'm bringing full XXX back. I'm keeping it real because niggas talking shit. Oh, you ain't keeping it real. My EBT come on in like 3 days, so I'm gonna be using that to actually get some of the, or not some, but get most of the shit that I'm be on here trying for y'all. You see what I'm saying? I got my actual own money too, but I'd rather just use the EBT food stamps because that's what it's for, for the assistance and shit like that. But yeah, I'm just letting y'all know. So I'm bringing that back, and yeah, man. So wake the damn up. More videos coming soon. Gang. I mean, peace.